How's everybody doing today? You know, a lot of us today we're going to be talking about homelessness, and with homelessness, we're going to be talking about how a lot of guys misunderstand homelessness. You know, how a lot of people misunderstand a lot of people misunderstand homelessness. Some people think that homelessness is bad for everybody. Some people think that homelessness is good, you know. But what I notice is that homelessness is only bad for a certain mindset type of person, depending on your mindset. You know, a lot of guys. What's up, Jim? How you doing? You done caught me early, Jim. Then caught me early for the first time. OF's Buxton, Jim, has caught me for the first time early. So, guys, today we're going to be talking about how homelessness is powerful for men. You know, all right, it's good, it's good. That's cool. Homelessness can be a power play for modern men, and it could be detrimental for modern women. Meaning that once a modern woman goes homeless, 9 times out of 10, there's no going back from this as a modern woman. We got Jay in the building. A lot of people be thinking that a lot of modern dudes be thinking that homelessness is bad, guys. You know, go to work today, get that money. I'm trying to get some money if somebody would super chat or send a gift. How about that? But guys, it's primitive that men put themselves in situations where we have to find out, is this really a man? Are you really a man? Can you put yourself in a position where you at the lowest of the low? You purposely, as a man, a modern man, have made yourself homeless. Which, if you think about it the right way, it's a power move. If you think about it the right way, as a modern man, becoming homeless, putting yourself through homelessness, is a power move. A lot of people will be like, what are you talking about, power move? You homeless, you a man, you homeless. You gotta bear with me and then we'll get to that. Being homeless can be a power move, guys. Brendan Jennings said, why you black? You gotta take that up with the creator, man. Take it up with the creator. I could have been anything else on the face of the earth, but God made me who I am. O.L. Buxton said it's not a power move. It can be a power. It can be a power move. I'm not praising homelessness. I'm not praising homelessness, Jim. You see, the difference between modern men and modern women is that a man can go homeless, guys. Throughout history, throughout history, men have lived in jungles. Men have lived in wooded areas. Men have lived off the grid, have traveled outside. I'm not talking about slavery. I'm talking about you gotta go back in the day, not our time period, but back in the day when people had huts and stuff like that. So the power move is that if you can become homeless and you stay in a city like New York, or you stay in a city, I mean, New York would be highly difficult to be homeless unless you know how to be around a bunch of people who move around all the time, you know. But if you're in a city like Los Angeles, where the cost of living, where the pay is extremely high, you have no clue what you're even what you're even saying. Yes, I do. I do have a clue. Zay too real. Z- Zeal too real. You must not be too real because you're talking about I'm not real, guys. Zay too real said I don't have a clue about what I'm talking about, guys. If men in the past lived in tents for years at a time, lived in huts, lived outside, had to chop down trees, build them somewhere to live. I didn't say you didn't say I wasn't real. You said I don't know what I'm saying. I do know what I'm saying. Homelessness is a blessing in the land of America where everybody wants to act like they're what they're not. Everybody and their mama wants to be rich. And nowadays you got people buying $200 fake bust down watches and leasing cars that they can't afford because they're trying to look rich. So what happens with that homeless man? The homeless man that you think is broke. You know, it's been times, and I didn't challenge my theory. It was times where I had thousands of dollars in my pocket. Jim said, if I go homeless, I'm staying with you. You better go homeless. You better. I'll be a good person to go homeless with. I tell you that. I will be a good person to go homeless with because just because you're homeless doesn't mean you're broke. That's what people think. People picture homelessness and broke as the same thing. Just because you're homeless doesn't mean you're broke. And that's what I'm saying. And that's what I'm trying to tell people. Is that it was times since people thought I was homeless already. I literally could, like, I was in Houston. I was in Houston and I could go and sleep at a bus stop on the bench. I could go sleep at a bus stop on a bench with a pocket full of money. And just because I'm sleep outside and I'm homeless, most people, the robbers, everybody, they just walk straight past me. Don't even think I got anything. That's what I'm saying. And that's where I'm getting to, guys, because it's more difficult for modern women to become homeless than modern men. Because when modern women become homeless, they lose their souls. Yup, staying with somebody is a horrible idea. Stand with somebody if you're not, especially if you're not on the same page. If that person is not, don't believe in God, you know, he's not a good person. Stand with somebody, you know, 9 times out of 10, it's not a good idea. It's a good idea, but only if you was like brothers or something, like y'all was real close, or cousins and y'all was real close and y'all all worked and y'all could depend on each other to pay the bills every month. So guys, like if you're in a city like Memphis, going homeless in a city like Memphis is not a good idea. You know, I'm from Memphis. Going homeless has to be a strategy. You know, going homeless has to be a strategy for a modern man. Now, if you're in Washington D.C., where minimum wage is like $20 an hour, you know, then you can strategically go homeless on a full-time job because because the apartments, not only when you go homeless, you're basically in the elements, but that doesn't mean you're broke. You can go get a hotel if you want to, but if you can have an establishment that you can make yourself a tent, or you could chop down some wood and build you a place and go to work every day, you're gonna surpass the average man with money. Let me say that again. For a modern man, going homeless can be a strategy. You're gonna if you can go homeless and manage your money the right way and do what you need to do, you can surpass the average man. Because most people rent nowadays, especially in the state that I stay in, a 1 bedroom apartment is about what 1500 for a 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom about 18, depending on where you stay at, 1800. So instead of you going to work and pay this $1,800, you're like, oh, I'm about to go homeless and strategy. You're not just going homeless just to go homeless. You're strategically going homeless, meaning that you're not going to be broke. And when you do go homeless and you have your job and you're not going broke, don't go around telling people that you're coming up, that you have a job, because you're going to become a target. So you have to go homeless and act like you're really homeless and broke, but go to work. Go to work, and if you have a side business, do that as well. Because a lot of guys want to move to the Philippines. A lot of guys want to move to Vietnam. Off a year of working, you literally will have enough for the plane ticket and to live off. You can literally build residual income while you're homeless. So when you get overseas, you can get paid off of your music, YouTube, or the business that you created while you were homeless. Plus, you just saved up 30, 40, $50,000 because you strategically became homeless. Now, for modern women, guys, it's not the same. For modern women, it's not the same. Because I did a video just now, a 20-year-old chick. I reacted to a video. She's 20. Her dad kicked her out. And she don't look bad at all. Fresh meat. That's what homeless people sell on the street. Fresh meat. For a woman to go homeless is like one of the most dangerous things a woman can do. A woman has zero protection when she goes homeless. She has zero protection when she goes homeless. Now, this other chick, she's 20. She looks good. So every day, there's going to be guys trying to smash every day because they know she's homeless. She probably don't have no money, and stuff like that. She probably don't have no money. She's probably confused because she don't know she don't know what's going on. So for modern women, going homeless is, especially the better you look. If you are fugly and you go homeless, so what? But if you look good and you go homeless, 9 times out of 10, you're gonna be an object. And it's crazy that a lot of these women, when they become homeless, give themselves away just because they think they have to. So guys, that's one thing to remember. The longer a chick has been homeless, the more likely she has had sex with multiple guys, including homeless dudes. How did you get out of homelessness? Cause you busted, fam. Um, If you want to know how I got out of homelessness, um, if you want to know how I got out of homelessness, Danielle Joyce, hit the super chat because you ain't talking about nothing. Hit the super chat, send a gift. If you want to know a personal question, super chat. You know, we got Orange in the building. He likes orange. Yeah, for modern women, it's dangerous to become homeless. You don't have no covering as a modern woman. It was times when I was homeless, guys. It was times when I was homeless. And what else you think about it, guys? What before I had strategy, before I had a purpose when I was homeless, before I accepted everything, I became homeless in Atlanta. And what do you think? How do you think I looked at women and everybody else? And I'm just one dude, one man, because usually it'd be a lot of men who's homeless. Not too many beautiful women, but there's beautiful women who become homeless too. And can you imagine being in a homeless shelter? Being in a homeless, because at first, before I decided not to stay in the homeless shelter, I used to stay in homeless shelters when I first got homeless. But then I was like, man, homeless shelters ain't shit. Then I started thugging it. And so all them chicks, and then you see a chick, you're a homeless man. Who else is a homeless man gonna go after first? A homeless man is gonna go after somebody else who's homeless. Come on, guys. Like, just because you're homeless don't mean you're sick, doesn't mean you have a mental issue. Some people get homeless and then that happens to them. So usually you see a chick, you be like, dang man, that chick fine. Like, she's sexy. Oh, then all the guys, they ain't got nothing going on because they're chronically homeless. Then they be like, oh, here you go. I got $20 for you here. They trick her. Being homeless, I done seen plenty of beautiful homeless women throughout my stretch of being homeless. And I'd have been with a lot of beautiful homeless chicks as well. A lot of y'all will be like, oh, he's a predator. He's a predator. It's the ecosystem. If there's homeless men and the first person who's gonna go after the homeless chicks is, unless she's drop dead gorgeous, there is some chicks who be looking good, who end up homeless. You be like, dang, how the hell she end up? And then I start figuring out that the better a woman looks, it's something wrong with her, bro. The better a woman looks and she goes homeless, there's something wrong with her. This is my first impression of you, Mr. Killer 0065. Well, over here, we don't fake, we don't flodge over here. We keep it, this is a real channel. Orange, if you're not going to super chat, I'm going to put you in timeout. And the next time you start posting oranges in here, I'm not going to kick you off the video, but I'm just going to put you in timeout. But guys, the thing about it is, being homeless for a modern man could be a strategy. It could be a strategy. No, real shit. They look, the better they look, the more I'll up the B. I don't understand. But a lot of you guys are in here right now. Y'all not supporting the channel. Y'all not supporting the channel. Y'all not super chatting. Y'all not sending gifts. Come on, guys. I don't do this for my health, guys. 4HRN said you bad here in Wisconsin, little bro. Never been to Wisconsin. Don't got nothing against them with Wisconsin. But I've been on this earth for over almost 40 years and never been to Wisconsin. You're not hurting me. Ban me. How about that? Ban me. I think the only thing isn't Green Bay and Wisconsin. That's the only thing I probably like about Wisconsin is the Packers. That's it. How about that? So guys, for modern women going homeless, if the better you look, the more likely I'm talking about this is and this is going to be a continuous cycle for women when they go homeless, especially because what you got to think about it, guys. Thanks for the gift. Now we getting up in there. We got people, real people. I love Forsaken 00 with the gift. I appreciate you. You got to think about it, women, all you ladies out there. If you're the more sexually attractive you are when you go homeless, it's going every day, all day. There's going to be guys all day, all day. Hey, mom, what's up? All different types of dudes, old dudes, young dudes, dudes who not even homeless. All day is going to try to, sway you. So that means this homeless chick, depending on her personality, 9 times out of 10, she's gonna give in. You know, because you got to think about it. For a modern man going homeless, a modern man don't really need to be around nobody. A modern man don't have to go to a homeless shelter. A modern man could go homeless with strategy, and women can do it as well too. But usually they don't, just because of the way it is. They're not going to do that because a lot of them, they're women. They get scared, so they like to sleep in groups, or when a woman becomes homeless, the better she looks, she's going to pick another homeless guy who's probably a Pookie or Ray Ray. Then she's going to give herself to him so she can be under some type of covering or protection. Because every day there's gonna be men after her. Yeah, they're after you. Yeah. And the thing about it is, homeless, like I'm not saying everybody homeless has STDs and stuff like that, but there's nasty people who's homeless. I done seen it. I done seen a guy in Atlanta. Well, and he wears the same suit every day. If he opens his suit, you can see the bed bugs crawl. You can see the bed bugs crawling, hundreds of bed bugs, bro, crawling all over this dude. Bed bugs everywhere, and he goes sit on the bus. He goes sit on the bus. Somebody else comes sit behind him. Next thing you know, you trying to figure out where you get bed bugs from. He said, "You cook, gang." No, I ain't cook. I ain't cook, y'all. We got my white brother said, "Fuck it, nigga, we ball." My white brother 4HRNZ said, "Fuck it, nigga, we ball." And I'm not even gonna check your stripes as a white man. I'm not even gonna check your hood stripes, because the thing about it is, where I come from, I know some Caucasian guys who grew up the same way that we grew up. The hood white boys, and they do not sound Caucasian. They sound just like brothers. So I hope you're not pretending, because one of those white boys don't like it when other white boys pretend. They'll do something to you. He said, "Puff puff pass." If y'all want me to fire up the blunt, man, super chat. If y'all want me to fire up the blunt, super chat. How about that? If y'all want me to smoke, I'm gonna start. I'm gonna go buy a bottle of Hennessy. I really like brandy. I'm like a cognac guy, you know, when I do drink. And every time somebody super chats me a certain amount, I'm gonna tell you guys what the amount is. I'm gonna take a shot, and I'm gonna see. We're gonna see how many of y'all fools try to get me effed up. He said money glitch. It's cool. Ain't nobody got a super chat. I'm still gonna fire it up. Y'all ain't hurting me. Y'all ain't got a super chat. Yeah, E&J is pretty good. I like E&J. Like Paul Musan. I like Paul. I like Paul. Very familiar with Paul. You know. It's crazy. A lot of y'all need to subscribe to this YouTube channel, man. Hit that subscribe button, bro. I'm pretty sure Diddy drinks way better alcohol than E&J 31 Niner. So have anybody in here ever experienced homelessness? Hit the comments. Have anybody in the chat ever experienced homelessness? Some form of homelessness. Hit the chat. Oh yeah. I love Forsaken 00. It is you is the number one top fan because like it's easy to become the top fan on the chat if other people are not sending gifts or super chatting. So right now I'm gonna tell you the top five top fans, you know, and number one is I love Forsaken 00. Like you can become a fan just by coming in, liking, but if you're super chatting and stuff like that, depending on who sends the most money on that super chat or whatever, or become a member, they can take your crown from you. So, do anybody want to take I Love Forsaken's crown? He has the top crown. He just sent two gifts. So, number one is I Love Forsaken 00. He has 119 XP. Number two is Jay, my boy Jay, 2024 Jay. You know, 75 XP. We got Jim. Jim is three. Jim is the third one. And we got number four. 4HRHZ, who's my brother from another, is in here. Um, um, and number five is I've no thumbs. He said he got a gift that keeps on giving. I don't want it. I don't want your gift that keeps giving, brother. You want to know why? You can't trust everybody. You can't trust everybody. You can't eat everybody's cooking. What's your question? Rojas Fame Adventures. What's your question? I must have missed you. I didn't purposely do it. That's why I say, like, if you super chat, I will immediately see it. What's the closest thing to Hennessy? I honestly don't know because I don't drink like that. Like I'm like every like I haven't had a drink in years type shit. Like I haven't had a drink in years. But I wanted to do something fun for the channel. You know, fun for the channel so we can get. I'm gonna take your black card. I don't. I don't want an American black card anyway. Yeah, because nobody wants to be African American. How about that? How about that? Who can anybody on here who's not African American? Can you guys tell me? Do you guys really want to be African American? Do anybody want to be anybody who's not African American? Would you like to be African American? I don't think we got enough people in here for them to hit the comments. Yeah, nobody wants to be. Honestly, nobody really wants to be an African. Nobody really wants to be an African American, bro. I would kind of want to be black. I love Forsaken 00 said I would kind of want to be black. Yeah, we got one person. But the thing about it is, most people are happy with whoever they become. You know, like we don't have a choice but to be black. You know, Asian person, they happy to be Asian. Caucasian people are happy to be Caucasian. You know, everybody's content with who they is. But I don't think that people is rushing to be, one of the worst stereotyped person in America. Like, you know, as much as bad stuff as people see that happen to black people, you think people want to be African American? No, they don't. So we're gonna take this time now for everybody who is new to this channel, who haven't already, so hit that subscribe button to subscribe to the channel. Um, I know my shows be a little boring for all you losers out there. Y'all need boobies. Y'all need to see boobs and single mothers walking around in their bikinis to be entertained. I know who y'all be cash apping and super chatting on YouTube too. It's not guys like me. It's women who are half naked most of the time. It's crazy. And it is. Jay said that's what they used to, and it is. So, guys, anybody got anything they want to say in the comments? Majority of them. Facts. This is the time to hit the comments, guys. Anybody got anything they want to say, good or bad? Because most people who come in here have bad things to say. You know, facts. Moon rocks, and you ain't never tasted moon rock before. You ain't never even tasted moon rock. Why you name your name? Why you name yourself Moon Rock? How about that? How about that? I know if you have anything bad to say right now or good, Or anything you want to talk about, hit the comments. We are reading the comments right now. Any questions, on homelessness? Any questions on male homelessness, on female homelessness? You know. All right, guys. This is the time to support the channel. Anybody want to support the channel? Who is homeless? Um, I don't know. Are you homeless? There's a lot of people who's homeless. Are you homeless? Yes. So, how is it being homeless? How is it being homeless? What are you doing? Horrible. Yeah, brother. It sounds like you don't have a strategy, brother. It sounds like you don't have a strategy. You know, because being homeless, the thing that got me through being my homelessness is I had to tell myself that being homeless is a mind state. You can be outside, but it doesn't mean you're homeless. It's a mind state. And it sounds like you need a strategy and you need to change your mind state. You know, like go somewhere if you're in Wisconsin, go to Florida and to try being homeless down there. Try to change your scenery. If you're homeless, that's what I did. I used to go to Houston. I used to go to Florida. I like the water. I like palm trees. I like tropical weather. You see the women inspire me. Seeing sexy women walking around with their legs and stuff like that. Being by the water inspire me. You know. So what do you need help with being homeless, sir? How can I help you? What advice can I give you and comment? What advice do you need? Ask me a question. So you're not homeless anymore? No, I'm not. I am not homeless anymore. Yeah, brother, sound like you worrying about the wrong things. I'm trying to, ask a serious question. Like, how old are you? What did you do to overcome it? Well, like I said, I got on my purpose. I started staying away from bad people. I started seeing life differently, than what I used to look at, how I used to look at life. Then I started traveling and changing my mindset. And then I kept doing what I wanted to do. And then I ended up meeting my wife. I ended up meeting my wife, you know. And then the homelessness from there was it's a route. So do you work? Yes, I'm always working. Always working. Even if you don't have a real job, even if you don't have a real job, you should still have some type of hustle, you know, when I was homeless. Like I used to sell cigarettes because I got so tired of people begging for cigarettes. You got a cigarette? You know, I sold shots, liquor shots. I ordered wholesale headphones. We just got a gift. I appreciate you. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the gift. Yeah. So even though you work, you still want to keep. It's like you have the time to work and you have the time to hustle. I mean, hustling don't always mean bad. It doesn't always mean you selling rocks or gunji all the time. You can sell other things as well. And you're in America. Like I used to order fucking Bluetooth headphones, speakers. I used to order 100 packs of headphones with the Samsung logo on them. And I used to pay like 50 cents a piece. I used to sell 50. Thanks for the gift. Thanks for the gift. I used to uh I used to buy them in a bulk, like about 100 for like 51 cents a piece. So you think about it. I had headphones with the logo, headphones from China. They wasn't real. A lot of stuff we get in America is from China. Just letting you guys know, you know. And it had the Samsung, and I would pay like 11 cents a piece, 50 cents a piece per headphone, and then I'll buy like 200 of them, and then like I spent like $50, and I sell the headphones $5 a piece. Like that kept food coming in my mouth. You ever smoke dope? How about that? How about that? Easy. If like I never smoked nothing besides Gunji. I'm just gonna keep it real with you. I haven't never smoked nothing besides Gunji. How about that? Thanks for the gift. Thanks for the gift. I appreciate you. Yeah. So to ask when the Elf Rockstar gonna give us GTA 6? Once you stop thinking about it and find you something else to do, and then next thing you know, it's gonna be out because you ain't worrying about it. Yeah, I stopped worrying about GTA 6. I said it's gonna be out in how many years? Oh, I ain't worrying about that right now. I ain't about to worry about that. It ain't out. It ain't coming out. Yeah, no time soon, bro. It's been 13 years. It's been 13 years for what? It ain't been 13 years because they just dropped the Grand Theft Auto. But anybody got any more questions? You know, hit the comments that pertains homelessness. You know, matter of fact, I'm gonna have to end this live. I'm gonna have to end this live right now. But we gonna come back later. Like you check my feed after 7 or 9. I might schedule it. But we're gonna go live later, guys. So everybody who is new in here, man, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel, man. Thumbs up the video. You see, my second top fan now is Brian Cutler, and that's a male's name. Are you a man with a male's name with a female picture, or are you a female with a female's picture? Or is this your picture? How about that? How about that? You know. The man next door got a question mark. Had got a question mark. You need to stop talking to people. This is some advice I'm gonna get a man next door if you're really homeless. You need to block out all the noise. You need to start sleeping somewhere where there's no other homeless people, especially homeless people who who affects your vision and have bad things going on. Then you need to get you some money. Meaning you need to go, and if you got to go to a temp agency, just to start kick it off, because you can get work the same day. You know, then you want to get a permanent job where you work at least 5 days a week. You know, six. I mean, you can work on some weeks. You can work 7 days. I like to do that now. Like sometimes I don't mind working all week. You know what I'm saying? Uh, um, and you need to keep your job and what you're doing to yourself, because being homeless, nobody is going to um want for you to get out of that position that they still stuck in. He said, "Where do you work?" I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you that. I work for myself first and foremost. I'm self-employed first and foremost. And when I go on a job, I only go on jobs where I'm the CEO. I don't care. I'm the CEO. This job is not me. I'm working this job because I have my own goals. You know. So like disrespect and all that, and playing power games and micromanaging, all that stuff that a lot of guys like to micromanage on the job. I holler at you, and I'm gonna go. There's way better jobs where you don't have to have a supervisor standing over your head talking about nothing. He just want to look powerful and stuff like that. I don't play them type of games. You know, I like to work places where I could be peaceful. Everybody got a purpose. We go to work and go home, and then we talk on the job about men shit. That's it. How you're asking me personal questions? I don't think you're homeless. I don't think you're homeless. I think you might be the FBI or the cops, and we accept you here, brother. We accept cops and the FBI over here. How about that? How about that? You look 50. Yeah, your mama look 50. I still smash. How about that? I'm talking about she done aged well. Your mom done aged well. Everything's still nice and tight. How about that? But guys, make sure you guys subscribe to the YouTube channel. Yeah, we're gonna smoke some more weed, gunji later. We're gonna go live later. You guys, we're gonna be dropping videos, more videos today. Make sure you guys stay tuned to the channel. I'm not mad at you. You asking me crazy questions and you don't have enough money to ask me those questions, brother. If you super chat, you asking me personal questions, I'll answer it. How about that? But some telling me that if you're homeless, you need every dollar you got, bro. Or prove me wrong. How about that? Prove me wrong. Yeah, that's what I thought. She said, "Who's homeless?" The man next door is homeless.